Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. Wait, blah, blah, blah. Okay, let me restart that. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Seth, also known as the King of Darkness, also known as the High Evolutionary, also known as King the Conqueror, amongst other things. The Inherior, the the hostess was the mostest. Okay, that's enough. Okay, so today we're gonna talk about today. We're gonna talk about something a little bit more fun because I saw a video the other day, and this guy looked pissed off. He looked pretty pissed off. He looked pissed off because I don't remember. I guess he doesn't like certain types of demonologists. There's certain types of demonologists that piss him off. Um, he said some things. I guess some things are true. It's not all demonologists that are crazy. I mean, like, because like there are doctors that are Satanists. There are Satanist doctors. There's Satanist lawyers. There's Satanist everything, right? So it's a misconception. There's Satanist bankers like this. So there's a Luciferian bankers. Well, it's the same thing, you know. Well, not really, but kind of, because Satanists don't really believe in Satan, right? Luciferians actually believe in metaphysics, because Satanists don't believe in metaphysics. Like they like the idea of rebelling against society's norms. That's what a Satanist is. A Satanist is a person that loves to rebel against society's norms. It has nothing to do with like ritual practice, magic, or anything like that. It has nothing, demons or nothing. They don't even believe that demon exists. They don't believe that. They're atheists, right? They don't believe that God. They don't like the idea of God. They hate the idea of God because they feel like the idea of God is regressive and repressive, and it is. And they, but they, that's the reason why they adopt the doctrine, the presumed doctrine. Because mind you, there's no devil's Bible. The devil's Bible does not exist, right? There's no 10 commandments of demons. None of that shit exists, right? So, but they like the idea of a person rebelling against society's norms, right? Which would be, i.e., God, right? So that's what a Satanist is. A Luciferian, for example, on the contrary, actually does believe in metaphysics. They do believe in metaphysics. They do believe in the idea of Lucifer being a real being and stuff like that. And there's not much of a difference when we're talking about uh, edicts, right? When we're talking about edicts, just like the Satanists, they don't, the Luciferians don't want to hurt people, right? They're not out here trying to hurt people. They're not out here. They're trying to access all the knowledge that is hidden within this world in order to better themselves and humanity as a whole. That is what a Luciferian is, and that is what a Satanist is. Okay, so there are Satanists and Luciferians everywhere. And the ones that, I'm not saying I put makeup on. I will, if I do a ritual, I will put a bunch of shit on my face and all kinds of shit. I will do that, but there's a reason why I do that. I don't do that because I'm crazy. I don't do that because because makeup has always been connected to magic. Okay. Yes, I am talking about women's makeup too, especially women's makeup. Makeup has always been connected in some shape or form to magic, right? Because we call it beautification, but beautification has many aspects to it that are not necessarily beautiful, right? So it's like when you're watching Chinese opera, right? And some ancient Asian, some ancient Or the Native Americans, they used to put makeup on. Why do they do that? Ancient Asian cultures used to put makeup on to call on their spirits. Why do they do that? Because it's a form of not possession, but it's a form of evoking the spirit that you want to call, right? By looking like him, you have a higher chance that the spirit accepts you, right? So if the spirit accepts your face, it's going to come. Like if the spirit is happy with your face or what you look like, the spirit is going to come to you because he's happy to look. It's like Halloween, right? Trick or treat, right? So you're sitting there, you're basically playing Halloween. You're basically doing Halloween shit. Like you're knocking at the spirit's door, and you're kind of like trick or treat. You know what I mean? And the spirit is gonna be like, I want a trick or a treat or both. Most of the time it's both. Like, so that's why we do the dance, that's why we put the music, that's why we put the makeup. So it's not because we're crazy, it's not because we're uneducated, it's not because we have schizophrenic psychotic bullshit running through our minds, right? This is what the guy was saying in this video, mind you. I'm not saying that's what the problem was. It's not, but he did have a problem with spirits that play spirits. Yeah, he does have problems with spirits that play video games, right? And I thought it was a funny idea because I play a lot of video games myself. As a matter of fact, I have a Twitch channel. If you want to go check it out, it's Major Hater 1523. It's pretty fucking crazy. It's pretty fucking fun. Especially last night's video was insane. But so yeah, but I want to have a little bit of fun with this here, and I hope you guys can follow. Hold up, my lips are dry, man. Give me a second here. Where's my lip seal? Give me a second here. Give me a second. I'll be right back. So that's better. So yeah. So today I want to have a little bit of fun talking about something that I guess most people. I think the problem here is that most people are kind of shy to talk about it. They're like, I think this is a happening that happens to a lot of people. They just don't want to be judged. They don't want to be looked at as if they were crazy or some shit like that, so they don't really talk about it. But this screen that I'm using is a magic screen. Like back in the days, you would meet like a indigenous person, and the indigenous person would be like, "This is a magic box." The question is, why did this person pronounces that the box is magic? Why is that considered magic to the person? You see, you got to look at both sides of the coin. Of course, why it's not a magic box, or you think that why it's not a magic box, when actually it is. There's a reason why this person says it's a magic box, because this person is seeing spirits inside of a box. He's seeing spirits inside of a box, so he's like, that's a magic box, right? So, or he understands something about magic or spirituality, not necessarily magic. The person understands something about spirituality that makes him say that what you're looking at is a magic box, right? So a lot of people call television tele-lie vision, right? When actuality is telepathy vision, right? So what I'm trying to get at here is imagination and creativity is a powerful thing. You need imagination and creativity. Like if you practice voodoo enables you to be very creative. It's a very creative and very imaginative process, right? So, and most magic are, of course, and actually, like demonology is not as creative. Well, that's a misconception from my own part. It's not that it's not creative. It's very creative. It's extremely creative. But the way that you learn is very precise, right? Everything has to be measured, and everything has to be measured and put in place at the right place and stuff. Like there's specific things you do. Voodoo, you don't have to do specific things. Whatever you got on deck goes into the bowl. You know what I mean? But when we're talking about demonology, there are precise things and artifacts that you need in order to make the magic happen, right? There's a lot of creativity. There's a lot of but there's a lot of creativity because there's a lot of power. There's a lot of things that you can do, right? Like having a beholder. Like I have a beholder. I have a beholder energy. What is a beholder? Beholder is a monster with one giant eyes and 6 other eyes, right? At the end of his tentacles, he has like many tentacles, and if you're white, you probably know what I'm talking about. And some black people too, if they're smart enough, they'll know what a beholder is. So I have beholder energy, right? And I love my beholder. He's fucking great. It's awesome, right? So so that's a creative notion. It's like having a hellhound, right? I have a hellhound too. I have a hellhound. I have a beholder. So those are creative things. Those are imaginative things. Those are things that you need to create yourself. You need to call forth the energy, and it's not. There's no precise way to have a beholder, right? It's by pure discovery that you're going to have a beholder. It's by pure discovery that you're going to have a hellhound. It's by pure discovery that you're going to have servitor spirits and things like that. So there is space for creativity, and there's space for a massive amount of creativity. So scratch what I just said about there's as much creativity in demonology than voodoo. So basically there's creativity and imagination in magic, right? So you're playing a video game, right? So the thing is, a video game is no different than any other medium, right? Because that's the trick. That's the little trick. The trick is having a medium, right? It's like when you're doing magic, you have a wand, right? And your wand is showing is basically a form of power to harness. Like it doesn't, the power goes into the wand and it doesn't go to you. It's like a hyperconductor, right? It's like when you do magic, when you're trying to invoke spirits, you don't necessarily need a conductor, but that's not what we're talking about. We're not talking about what we need and don't need here. I'm just trying to make an analogy so I can explain what I'm saying here. So when you have a hyperconductor, you use the one so that you can communicate with the spirit, right? So the spirit puts his energy into the wand, you put your energy into the wand, and now the wand is capable of opening the portal for you to communicate with the spirit, right? So what if you don't need a wand? What if you could do it with anything? What if you could do it with a glass of water? Or some people use crystal balls, right? Some people use crystal balls. Pause. Some people use crystal balls. Some people use water. Some people use mirrors, right? Those are all mediums, right? It's like it's like the how do you say? It's the middleman, right? It's the middleman between the world of the dead, the world of the presumed dead, the alleged dead, and the world of the living, right? The alleged living, the presumed living. We still don't have the how do you say that again? Anyways, whatever. I was just gonna say some stupid shit. Anyways, fuck it, fuck it. The verdict is not out on that yet. Like this could be the world of the dead, and we don't know. You know what I mean? We could all be dead and we have no idea, you know what I mean? We think we're alive and shit, and and then people that are alive or living somewhere else having a fucking ball. Who fucking knows? You know what I mean? Like we don't know. Yeah, we could be the dead people here, and the real living people could be fucking happy and shit and having fun and shit. We sitting here, you know what I mean? Like you don't know, and you won't know until you're gone. You know what I mean? So, anyways, I'm kidding. Of course, this is the world of the living and whatnot, but there's still room for interpretation. There's still room because the world is a weird place. There's a lot of room for interpretation, man. It's a weird ass place, right? So, anyways, so we understand that through imagination, creativity, and a little bit of effort and work, right? A little bit of persistence, right? Will create a medium for you. So you can use a mirror as a medium, and the spirit can come through the mirror, and you can talk to the mirror, and the spirit could come through the mirror. You can talk to the one, and the spirit will put the energy in the one. That is a bunch of things, right? So you're playing a video game now. Why do you think? So the question is, why do you think that the video game can't be a medium for whatever purpose? Like what do you think a video game can't be a medium for the laws of attraction, right? Why do you think a video game can't be? Because the TV can, and everybody knows that. So what's the difference between a TV show and an animated cartoon, or an animated thing, whatever you can call it, animated movement based game, like an animated game, so what I'm trying to say here is you can do magic while you're playing a video game. It's very possible. And as a matter of fact, that's why you should watch my Twitch, because I do weird shit on there. Like last night, I was joking around with the Snowfall series. I was like, "Smack your daddy, smack your motherfucking daddy." You know what I mean? And the whole time, the game was talking about daddies. At some point, it even mentioned Snowfall, like because the smack your motherfucking daddy thing comes from Snowfall, a TV show. I don't know where it's on, but it's a TV show. So so there is magic then there. It's like, or when I play Assassin's Creed Valhalla, the characters react to what I say, and it's not part of a script. They can't really hear me. The game is not made. It's not a game that's like, it's not in the options. It's not in the menu. Like speaking to the game and the game reacting to you is not in the options. That's not normal. That's not supposed to happen. It's not a coincidence either. No, they did it on purpose. It happens to other people, but I've noticed some people think it's just a coincidence. Some people they don't realize that it's because they're into the game. They poured, especially if you're pouring your energy into the game, not pouring your energy like you're trying hard and you're sweating and shit and blah blah blah. Like you're enjoying yourself. You're enjoying yourself. You have like you're sending vibes of interest into the game. Let's put it like that, because I don't think you don't need to try hard, but your mind has to be open. You have to be open. Your third eye needs to be open to be able to receive things like that. And some people's third eye, whether they are aware or not, are sometimes open. They just don't practice. But it doesn't mean, just because you don't practice meditation or magic, that doesn't mean that you don't have a third eye. Everybody has a third eye. It's like hearing and speaking, and I forgot the word, that the senses. It's one of your five senses. It's like your sixth sense. Your third eye is your sixth sense, right? Your intuition. Your third eye represents intuition, vision, perception, and not sensitivity as sensitivity as, you know, emotional sensitivity, but your sensitivity to the astral realm, basically. So the question now is, what's the difference? Like, why do you think just because you're playing a video game that you're not still in the realm of the alleged dead? You're still in there. You're still in here. You're in there. You can, well, you don't have to, but if you want to, you're in there 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. You know, me, I don't make the difference. I don't differentiate between the living and the dead. To me, they're both the same. To me, everybody's living. To me, there is no dead. Death doesn't exist. Death does exist, but only in on a certain only on a certain platform, certain wavelength, right? You know, so what I mean by that is somebody can die, but that person is gonna come back, and sometimes you can die forever too. You know, but that's rare. But that's more difficult. Like the to have somebody die forever is the person killed themselves. You know, somebody that dies forever killed themselves, and not like suicide. They just like, it's like being stupid. Being a stupid person is, you're heading towards eternal death, right? The stupider you are, the worse your death is going to be, right? Not your physical death, because your physical, you could just, like, you know, die from old age or some shit. You know, that doesn't matter. But once your physical body is gone, what happens after that could end up being horrific for this person, right? Because the thing is, living is consciousness, right? Living is consciousness. So if you're not conscious, you're not alive, right? So this is why I'm saying, like, people that are like, the verdict is not out yet on if we are actually living or not. You know, because a lot of people are not conscious, and once they die, they will disappear forever. You need to have a consciousness. A consciousness is the builder of the soul. The consciousness is the builder of the soul and the builder of the spirit, right? If you do not have consciousness, you don't have a soul. If you don't have a soul, you don't have a spirit. So you're gonna die forever, and you're never gonna come back. And that, I think, that's very painful. That's hell, you know, because in some shape or form, you will have a moniker of consciousness, but you won't be. It's like you're gonna be in eternal sleep paralysis, right? You're gonna be in eternal sleep paralysis, and so that can happen. So you can die forever. So people can die, right? Like when God dies, he's gonna be gone forever. There's no coming back for this guy. You know, there's no coming back for him because he's not conscious. He has no consciousness on purpose. You know, just doesn't give a fuck. He doesn't care about anything. So, you know, and there's people like that walking around and they don't care. So when they're gone, it's over. You know what I mean? That's why people say a mind is a terrible thing to waste, right? Because if you waste your mind, it's over. Like you don't have enough strength, you don't have enough energy, you don't have enough strength, you don't have enough to come back. You're not you enough. Not somebody else. I'm not saying people should try to be like someone else. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying the complete opposite. Actually, the worst. I mean, you can try to. I mean, you'll come back looking like the person that you want to be like. That can happen. You'll reincarnate as the person that you wanted to be like the last time you was here, right? But let's say that's not your purpose. Let's say that's not your kind of thing, right? So I'm actually saying the contrary. You need to be more. There needs to be more of you within you in order to reincarnate. Because if there's not enough of you to reincarnate, well, we can't reincarnate you because there's not enough of you in there. So we can't reincarnate something that's not there. That's impossible. Right? So watch out. Don't be unconscious. Don't be stupid. Because that's eternal death. Right? Being stupid is eternal death, bro. Like eternal death. Right? And yeah, people die all the time, and they'll come back sooner or later, you know. So that's why I'm kind of like, you know, so that's why death actually does exist, you know, on a certain level. But to me, because I'm an optimistic person, I'm an over enthusiastic and overly optimistic person. I believe that most people, when they are gone, they're gonna come back, right? Like I believe that when I'm gone, I'm gonna come back. You know, it's going to take 2 seconds. You know what I mean? I won't even fucking feel it. You know what I mean? I won't even know what happened. So, you know, I'm going to close my eyes, and then when I open my eyes, I'll be a brand new baby. You know what I mean? So, because I have a consciousness, because my consciousness is expensive, right? So there's only 2 places I go when I'm going to die. Either I go to paradise, whatever you consider paradise is, not the Christian paradise, but my own personal paradise. Is either I end up in paradise, that means chilling with the gods and shit like that, not with Tupac. I don't want to hang around with Tupac. I'm talking about hanging around with Kali, hanging around with Lucifer, hanging around with Odin. I might be hanging around with the sons of Odin, with the sons of Kali, with the sons of Lucifer and shit like that. That's what I'm talking about. That might be where I'm gonna end up. You know what I mean? Or maybe I didn't finish being conscious, and I don't feel that I finished being conscious, because I think my opinion is that Earth is actually a conduit into creating gods. I think Earth is the only place that you can become a god. I think it's the only way to become a god. You have to be on Earth to become a god, to become ultimate power. You know, like not be part of some other stuff, making some other guy bigger and you stronger and shit. No, like for yourself. You know, because when you believe in Christianity, that's what you're doing. When you believe in Christianity, you're giving everything away and you're making the guy stronger. And it's a good idea. It's not a stupid idea. I mean, like, I don't like the dude. I'm not trying to send him flowers, but it's a good idea, because if you have a moniker of consciousness, you're gonna come back, and you're gonna keep believing in him. So you're gonna keep giving him power over and over and over and over and over. You know what I mean? Like you're a battery. You're a battery. The Matrix. That's what you are. If you're a Christian, that's what you are. If you're a religious person, that's what you are. You're a battery. You're nothing but a battery, bro. You're just giving the guy energy and giving the guy energy. That's why Lucifer doesn't have a Bible. He doesn't have a code of conduct. He doesn't have a, you know, you got to show up to you got to own up to show up. You got to show up to own up. That's how he works. You know what I mean? That's how demonology works. That's same thing for yogi, or somebody asked me about what is dark meditation. Agori, right? There's yogi and there's agori. So agori would be the demon version of yoga. So if you're agori, so most of us demonologists, we're agori, right? We're not yogis. We're agori. Well, you can call yourself, you can still be a yogi. You can call yourself a yogi anyway. It doesn't matter, because agori is different. Agori is like, it's very dark. Agori is very dark, you know. It's very dark. It's like, you know, skull, bones, cannibalism, all kinds of shit. It's crazy. So, you know, it's very dark shit, but it has a good heart behind it. It has a good heart behind it. The reason why Agoris believe in death is because the reason why Agoris are obsessed with death is because they do not believe. Just like death, when he reaps, he sows, right? Death, when he reaps, he also sows. He doesn't just reaps and leaves the whole fucking place all fucked up. No, he sows too, right? When death takes a life, he gives new life, right? He brings new life. If the only reason why death takes life is for new life to become, right? It's for new life to exist. Because if everybody was born, like let's say Adam and Eve had 16 children and all 16 children never died, we would not be here. We would not be here. We would have, and the earth would be overpopulated, and we would have to stop making babies, literally. So I wouldn't exist today. Neither would you, because they would have stopped. They were already 9 billion. We're already like 8-9 billion, and people are complaining about the pollution in the air, and pollution period, and CO2, and mouth breathing, and fucking methane gas, and like a bunch of natural gases that if there's too much of it, it can still kill you. Global warming and shit like that. So imagine, so if we would have stopped, if we would have seen that, like let's say we would have seen that 5,000 or 10,000 years ago, we would have stopped. We would have been like, okay, no more babies. Just like Asia. You know what I mean? Now they just, you only have the right to have 2 children. It has to be one boy and one girl. If you have more than that, they're gonna kill it, right? Because there's too many people living in China, apparently, allegedly, right? So if we were all immortal, that would be the same thing. It would be the same thing. We would never have our turn. Not that we would care, because at the end of the day, you have to understand that more people, it's like diluting the brand, right? It's like diluting the brand, right? It's like, so let's say Aphrodite's, right? One of my favorite Greek goddesses, right? For obvious reasons. So let's say Aphrodite's. Aphrodite's is the goddess, right? So the energy of Aphrodite's is now in the firstborn of Aphrodite's, because Aphrodite's had a baby with, I don't know, Apollo, right? So Apollo and Aphrodite's had a baby, so you're the first human on Earth. So the first human on Earth of Aphrodite's is fucking Apollo. Is fucking, is he? Is Apollo the son of, whatever. So anyways, I guess I'll have to check that out. I don't remember. So anyways, so basically you're the human and you have more Aphrodite's energy in you, right? So but now let's say there's 2 other guys that had a baby, so now you had sex with the baby of the other babies, right? So now there's another. So basically you're diluting the brand. So the more, you know what I mean, like you're chopping the energy up, right? You're chopping the energy. So the more humans there are, the less you that you are, because the first baby was way stronger than the rest of the babies after. You know what I mean? Of course, we don't give a shit. Today we don't give a shit, and there's other reasons why we're like this, and there's nothing wrong with that, because we are creating progress, because we're progressing and we're evolving. So of course death might not be fair. It's not fair, and nobody said it was supposed to be fair. I'm not saying that, I'm not saying that it's fair, but it has to happen. It needs to happen in order for things to evolve, in order for things to progress, right? In order for us to be alive today. So the weird thing is, death is necessary for your living, because without death, you would never be here. You would never have a chance to be alive. So whatever consciousness that you hold, whatever consciousness that you are, the only reason why you are capable of being this person is thanks to death. Love you to death, man. Or else you wouldn't be here. So let's go back to what I was saying. Do I need to go back to what I was saying? Nah. So next time you play a video game, think about it. Think about it that way. You can, and also gods love games. I mean, they don't like playing. I mean, they're not gonna play games for like fucking 20 hours straight. But gods love games. They love video games. They love sports. They love that shit. They love games. They're fanatics of games. Any kind of game. They are game fanatics, and you better know that. You know what I mean? Because gods really love games, bro. Like this, their favorite pastimes is playing games. Not playing games with people, playing games. Period. Like they like games, bro. Like I don't know why. I think it's a weird trait, but I've never seen or heard of a god that doesn't like games, ever, ever. So think about that the next time you play a video game or you play chess or well, then think about that the next time you play a game that other people can get involved in. You'll notice things. It's like watching sports. Watching sports too. What sports is has a spiritual aspect to it. Sports has a spiritual aspect to it. You know, most games, most video games, are it's not the video game itself. It's you. It's not the game. It's you. Because if you don't want to contact them, if you're completely closed, and if you're completely closed, your third eye is not open, and you're completely closed minded, you're not gonna see shit. You're not gonna see a goddamn thing. But if your mind is open, if your spirit is if your door is open, they're gonna walk through it, and they're gonna join into the game too. And then whatnot. But like I said, of course, you might piss off. You can piss off a god if you play for too long, right? You might end up having some schizophrenic episode, you know, if you play too long, because they don't want you to just play video games all fucking day long either. I mean, depending on the person, obviously. I'm not saying if it's your job, it's your job, but if you're just sitting there on a Saturday night, just playing like for fucking 8 hours straight, they might get pissed off. That can happen. That can happen. Or not. Or not. They might actually encourage you sometimes to be like, oh, what I mean? It's already over. Come on. One more game. Like, it happens. It happens. So, and it's not just to make the gods happy that you're doing that. It's not. It's not. It's just it's a good way to keep the channel open, right? Because let's say you just did a ritual, you just meditated, and now you're playing a video game, and you still want the channel, or you want to do something else, but you still want the channel to be open. Play a video game. You know what I mean? You might see some weird shit too. I can't like, cause it's an open door. It's an open door. It's like playing Dark Souls. Dark Souls fucking creepy. Sometimes it scares the shit out of me, man. Like, especially when you're about to fight a boss monster, man. It scares it starts doing weird shit. You're like, what the fuck is that? Yeah, you know what I mean? Like, so, you can see weird shit too. It can happen if you leave your door open like that. It can happen. Sometimes it's just the AI that's wigging the fuck out, because there's no such thing as a perfect game, obviously. But you can see some weird shit. You'll know the difference. You will know the fucking difference. You'll feel it. You'll know that, okay, this is weird shit. Like this is weird shit. That's why I love Monster Hunter. That's why I love Monster Hunter, man. These fucking creatures are alive, bro. But the AI, the technology they put in Monster Hunter is above. It's like, it's a cut above. It's not, it's not kiddie pool shit. Monster Hunter is like, it's pretty up there. The AI in there is insane. So it's like you're fighting a real life creature, and it's insane because it's a video game, but it feels like you're fighting it's moving. Like, let's say you were fighting a tiger. That's what fighting a tiger would feel like. Like, a giant. That's what it would feel like, bro. You're gonna get your ass handed to you. You know what I mean? So, So sorry, Mr. Deaf. I do believe in you. Don't talk to Deaf. That's not a good thing to do. Um, you know, um, it's better. It's Deaf is an entity that is better left alone. Deaf is an entity that is better left alone. It is not an entity that you want to talk to. That you want to be friends with Deaf, but you don't want to invoke Deaf because I don't. He doesn't take that lightly. He does not like to be bothered for no reason. You know. So and he doesn't do spells or curses or things like that. So leave him alone. Um, yeah. So that's about it. This video's too damn long. I'm gonna see you guys in the next one. Peace out. Have a good one.